So I just want to go ahead and make a video just kind of talking about some of the questions or concerns that you guys had tonight. And so I'll just make this really quick and address some of those. So one thing in a minute, I'll go on and I'll show you how to navigate through Google Classroom, and that way you might feel more comfortable and familiar with what that looks like. And if your child is missing work, then you'd be able to help them find that, and you'd be able to check easily to see if it had been completed or if it's incomplete or if they've turned it in. So a couple of things tonight. Let's just talk about expectations really quick. So the expectation is that your child attends every live meeting and does the assignment immediately after that meeting. So the kids in class, or if you pretend as if your kids were in class, that would be the expectation. Our blocks or our time for reading, math, and science are an hour long. So after our lesson, the kids in class have whatever remaining time, which is usually 30 to 45 minutes, to get that assignment done immediately following. I haven't had I'd say 98% of the time they're getting it finished within that time frame, and even beforehand. So I'm having to give them extra things that they can get on and do, to stay busy. So I say that, so if you're working with your child late at night, till 8 o'clock at night with all this work and you're feeling overwhelmed, it shouldn't be that way. So if that's happening, then that means that during the day, work is not being completed or even started whatsoever. So again, the expectation is to come to every live meet and to do that assignment immediately following. This is extremely important for a lot of things. I know a lot of kids already are getting very frustrated because they're falling behind, and now they have all this makeup work to do, even though we've only been in class or in school for 3 weeks or so. Another reason is because we go over things in class, like just this past week. One of the assignments, I think it was Tuesday, was to do a couple of math problems, and then the next day we went over it. So there's about half the class that needed to get off our Google Meet because they hadn't even completed that original assignment. So, things like that, it's very difficult to do when kids aren't turning in assignments daily. I'm even having kids, not turning them in within that week. So everything is going to be due the day that it's assigned. So anything after that day is late. Now, with saying that, I know that emergencies come up. I know that kids have doctor's appointments and dentist appointments, and not just the child that's in my room, but maybe a sibling. I know that you have family emergencies. I know that sometimes they're at grandma's house or sometimes they're alone. Those are understandable. So let's say you're a family where your child is unattended through the day or most of the day, and you would like to check their work at night, 6, 7 o'clock at night before they turn it in. Of course, that's fine. If you would just shoot me a dojo or an email letting me know that that's how your family and your system is working, and that way I understand that that's why I'm not seeing assignments immediately, but I should still see them that evening. Or again, if there's an emergency, a death in the family or something like that, please let me know so I'm aware that assignments may not be coming in daily. Okay, but as far as everyone having internet, I do believe that everybody has internet, fairly good internet, so that where they can get on every day and complete their assignment immediately following. A couple of things to remember: every lesson is recorded, just like this is right now, and so it's uploaded every day. And most of the time, it's not even uploaded at the end of the day. After that lesson, we get an email immediately, and I try and upload it within that hour. So, if your child does miss, which we don't want to get in the habit, but if there were something to happen, an emergency where your child could not join our live meet, they can go back and watch the recorded version. And at the end of every lesson, we share our screen. I share my screen and show them where the work is, where they can find it, and what it is. And again, I'll show you in a minute what that looks like. So we're really pushing the fact that they have got to complete those assignments immediately following a lesson. You have to think of it as if they were sitting in this classroom. If they didn't do any work all day, I would obviously be calling you and we would be having a conversation. So the same thing applies at home. Somebody asked me about going out of town, like vacations. If you are planning on doing that, your child is still responsible for getting on our meets and completing work. Now, if you were in school, that wouldn't be an option. So that's definitely a perk to being home, being on a rotation, or possibly even being fully remote. If you're not going to do any work that week or join any lessons, then those days would be counted absent for your child, just like they would normally here. So if you were in school and you pulled your child out for a week to go on vacation, then those are unexcused absences. Okay. If you're on an AB rotation and it's A week and your child is in a group and it's their week to be in school, but you plan something like a vacation, and you ask if they can do remote instead, that is not an option that Ms. MacArthur wants people to have. And I know it sounds kind of harsh, but it's just the fact that we can't get into flipping rotations. We need to know what kids are in the building at what time. And so we can't be flipping rotations and doing vacation and all of that. So again, if you're out of town, the expectation is that they are still getting on live meets and still completing their work daily. Okay, if I can think of anything else, I'll say it. Let me present my page real quick, and I'm just going to show you what Google Classroom looks like and where they can find their assignments. Okay. So hopefully this is sharing right now. This is the main page for Google Classroom whenever they get in and they click on my 5th grade science, which I need to change because now as teachers, we are teaching every subject. So we're keeping our homerooms and teaching math, science, reading, and social studies. So this is the link that they click to get into any live meet. So again, if you need to meet with me one-on-one live, that's perfectly fine. If you'll, again, just send me a dojo or email me, this is the link you'll click on and I can meet with you after school one day if we need to. So this right here is the stream. I tell the kids to kind of stay away from that. Anytime I post new material, even if it's weeks out, it's going to email them and it's going to come up on the stream. And this is just a hot mess. So stay away from the stream. If it pops up new assignments, I've tried to tell the kids multiple times that that doesn't mean that you have new assignments right this moment. They're just assignments that I'm posting for later. And unfortunately, I'm just not sure how to get that to stop sending to them. So hopefully in the future we can figure that out. But as of now, kind of ignore that. So the only place they really need to be going is up here to this classwork. So this is organized a little bit better. So it's organized by weeks. We can make different tabs. So here are notebooks. I try and put some enrichment up here. So if you feel like your child is not being challenged enough, let me know personally, who you are, and I will try and add some things up here for enrichment. These are parent resources. They have things like the lunch menu and our schedule. So here's our live lesson schedule, but it also has student parent tutorials on how to use Google Classroom, how to use Kami, how to use all of these different tools that we're using online. So that's a really good place for you to go. So again, everything is in order by week. So we're on week 3. So looking at week 3, this looks like a lot, but you have to think that it is all the assignments, and not just assignments, but it's all the material that we're using for math, science, and reading for the entire week. So each class, math, science, or reading, have normally a slideshow for the week that kind of tells you what's going on every day. So that's a good way for parents to get on and kind of check to see what assignments are happening. Also, we've organized it to where it has the subject first, then the day, and then whatever afterwards. So Math Tuesday, this is the video that we did on Tuesday. So recording, so you can go back and listen. Those are good for if you miss a lesson or if you just need to go back and review it. Math Tuesday, Kami, anytime the kids see Kami, they know that that's an assignment. So they click here and then they open it This way they click open with Cami. And then on the left-hand side here, they're going to get a big old toolbox where they can add text boxes so they can write on these comprehension sheets or study sheets or whatever they are. There's also drawing options, shapes. There's even math equations that they can plug in. There's an eraser. There's a dictionary. There's all kinds of tools here. So once they complete their work, it doesn't show it on mine because I'm the teacher, but the students will have a fairly large button right here that says turn in. So once they do that, it'll come to me and I can grade it. And if I need to, I can send it back to them. So if I send it back to them, it shows up in their email, which I know I talked about a minute ago about kind of ignoring some of those emails and stuff. But you can tell the difference between me assigning something and you getting an email and me saying, hey, this is Miss Rector. Here's something that you need to be working on. Okay, so again, it's separated by math, science, reading. Live lessons are here. Assignments are here. And so that's the best way for them to find it. On your child's Chromebook, over here on the left-hand side, or possibly up at the top, there are a couple of other options that say due this week, completed or done or something like that. So that's another tool for you to figure out and for them to figure out and for you guys to work together on what is being assigned for that day or for that week. So you have a couple of avenues to take. You have, of course, the classwork right here. So you can see Tuesday or Wednesday or whatever that there's, an assignment. Or you can look at the week. You can always go back and watch the live videos because we talk about the assignments and even show them where they are within Google Classroom. So yeah, there's lots of options. Oh, and then of course, the fourth avenue would be our slideshows. So for example, here's my science slideshow. Their vocabulary words are always right here. So this is a link that takes them to Quizlet. And then when you start clicking, this tells you what their assignments are. So they needed to work on ThingLink today, which is a pretty cool site that we've been doing this year. And then they had a Cami biome comp. So anything that says Cami on it is going to be found here. Here's Cami, and it's going to be an assignment that they click on and fill in and then turn in. I'm trying to think anything else on here that I need to explain. I don't think so. So I'm going to stop presenting. So again, the biggest thing that I'm pushing is turning work in on time. That way your child doesn't feel overwhelmed. I don't feel overwhelmed and feel like I'm hounding them all the time to get work in. The easiest, best possible solution would be to watch or come into the live videos or the live lessons. Sorry, it's been a long day. And complete those assignments immediately. Again, if that is not possible, on a daily basis for your family, please let me know whatever your schedule is and how you're working that out. If it's a one-time deal, please let me know. Again, if it's a doctor's appointment or whatever, the more I know, the better. And so that way I'm not hounding them about turning in work because, you guys have been in the hospital for a couple of nights or heaven forbid, or whatever it might be. So please use Dojo and let me know what's going on. Or again, you can email me anytime. I'm constantly checking my email through the day because of the kiddos anyway. So that's definitely another tool and avenue that you can take to get in touch with me. I hope this was helpful. If you have any other questions, please feel free to Dojo me or email me. And if you would like to meet one-on-one about some of the concerns maybe you're having with turning in work or maybe some grades that they're getting back already, please feel free to let me know and we can meet on here one-on-one. I'll let you know down the road if I hear anything about parent-teacher conferences. I haven't yet, so I'll keep in touch when it comes to that. All right, well, I hope you guys have a great evening, and it's almost the weekend. And yeah, I hope this was helpful. Thanks.